Well, good evening, everyone. Here we go. You're very,
You know,
very chilly edition.
I know. We should probably have more viewers tonight because I'm sure everyone's just locked in their house with nothing to do but look outside the window at the snow, right?
Man, you would think, I mean, shoot, where these numbers better be. Oh, shoot, there they are, right there. Oh my God, there's 16 of them. Yep,
There we
you're
go.
right. You're right. Can you hit the nail right on the head there? We are going to have more viewers tonight just because of the cold weather. Listen,
Hopefully.
I'm not wishing that on anybody. So let's get rid of this cold weather. I'll deal with the drop in numbers.
I know, yeah, it's been pretty brutal. It's
Yeah,
been
well, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Power Hour podcast. I'm your state chairman, Mike Hatcher, and this is Sloan, my co-host, and we're here to recap. Pretty exciting weekend.
busy weekend.
Actually, yeah, busy week.
Yeah.
Well, week, I guess not. Yeah, since my cruise, I'm back on land.
Since you're what?
Since my cruise, I'm officially back on land.
Oh, since your cruise, you're snap back to reality.
I'm doing a lot better right now, and I mean, we don't have that little glitch. We don't have anything. We're right on right now.
Yeah, it's perfect. When did you get back?
Got back on Thursday, and got back on Thursday. Had to turn and burn right away the next day. Went to Chattanooga. A real good buddy of mine, Rocco Mansueto. Mom passed away a few weeks ago, so I went to a funeral on Friday. Hung out with my niece a little bit on Friday. Not that I didn't hang out with her enough. I shared a room with her for a week at a cruise. But figure one last lunch would be good. And then, just kind of hunkered down here in Nashville and got to practice on Sunday. And then all of a sudden, here comes the snow.
Here comes the snow.
And the cold. That's the problem here in Tennessee. Especially, I don't know what it's like, out east or you being stuck in Kentucky, what it's like there.
Yeah.
I know when I was in Iowa, we literally, I'm telling you right now, it would take like big time snow to just get a 2 hour delay. Oh, yeah. It was horrible growing up as a kid there because we all see all the snow and all of a sudden, 2 hour delay. Like, what? No. Yeah. We're thinking snow day. We got sleds. We got to get everything ready to roll and got to go to school.
I know. I feel like as a state, we're always just not prepared. So whenever it hits, it's like everything has to freeze and shut down. It's nice.
We only got like one snowplow here, I think, in Nashville. So we get, I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know. They got the roads cleared off, but normally they just want to wait until the snow melts, to get off the road. But
it won't. It's so cold.
Yeah, it's like now. It's like 10.
Mm-hmm.
I about turned right around and went back to the Caribbean.
I don't blame you.
That was 100% on my mind.
I don't blame you. I wish you could have.
Yeah. So what's up with you? You're stuck in.
Yeah, as you guys can see, you've got different background. I drove to Campbellsville, which is the town of my alma mater, Campbellsville University in Central Kentucky, because they had like an alumni dual celebration. Where they invite previous.
Cool.
Athletes from the team. And so it was really cool to see a bunch of teammates that I wrestled with, just recently all the way up until like when I first signed at the university. So it was cool and fun until I went to leave and the roads were covered in ice and snow. And so luckily this is a place that was home to me for 5 years. So it's like, I've got lots of friends, people that I would consider family, and I've got like plenty of options of places to stay. I've been like house hopping, staying with
You're not coming out of your pocket for a hotel room for this week.
Yeah, no, well, it's been cozy. Hopefully tomorrow I'll hit the road, but yeah, it's been. Snow's been bad here, and snow's been bad at home, and everything in between is supposed to have just been worse. So I'm just.
Now you got to go up over the mountains and all that stuff.
I do, yeah, yeah. That's what makes it kind of scary for me, but I don't know. We'll try tomorrow. Hopefully I make it back.
Well, stay safe. Don't be pushing that. I tell you what, up and over those mountains, that's no joke there.
Yeah, I know.
Not good.
But so that's where I'm at. I've just been hanging out.
Cool.
Not
much. Well, I guess your wrestling's been more on a personal level then. Checking out the being back in Campbellsville. So that's good.
It has been. Yeah, it's been cool.
Awesome. Good. Well, what's going on the girls' side this week? A lot, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. There was a lot of things that went on this past week. One thing that we never really touch on here that I want to start touching up on more
Yeah.
Especially in the next few weeks. It's kind of like these duels that are going on the girls' side, because we've had some pretty good matchups recently, and so of course it's just like that time of year. We're coming down to where everyone's got to see everyone at some point. But there were two really, really good duels this past week that I thought were worth mentioning, and hopefully we'll keep doing this moving forward, and maybe even try and like talk to some coaches from some of these duels, because I would for some of these. But for today, I'll just tell you two that happened. We had Coffee County versus Stewart Creek last week, which was a really, really competitive duel that finished up 13-12. And then we had West Creek and Rossview, who competed against each other, and they finished 36-3 with West Creek coming out on top. And I think it's so cool just to be, of course, we just talk about like these small things and how the sport is growing, but it is truly only in the past few years that we've been able to have dual teams. Well, teams big enough to like put together a dual team and have an actual duel. So the fact that multiple of those are happening in a week and they're being super competitive, I think is super cool to watch. But these are four teams that went against each other that any day I think could have gone either way. So it was cool to be able to actually see those play out.
Wow.
So that was during the week. And then over the weekend, we had a good handful of tournaments. And I very well might be missing some, truly, but these were at least the biggest ones. We had the St. Andrews Girls Mountaintop Invitational, which had a good handful of teams there. Cleveland won that tournament by quite the landslide. We had Hall's Girls Invitational out my way, which was pretty close neck and neck. There was a lot of teams that showed up there, but Broadley ended up winning the tournament with 121 points. And then Knox Hall's, the host of the tournament, was pretty close second with 90 points. So just about 20 points behind them. And then on the complete opposite side of the state at Memphis, had an open tournament, which was cool for, I'm sure, a lot of the middle Tennessee teams to be able to go like even further west than normal and see some different competition. So Clarksville ended up making the trip out to Memphis, and they won that tournament again with a pretty massive lead. And then Franklin Admiral Invitational, West Creek won that tournament pretty well. And then they had, of course, Spandetti, which you might be talking about.
That's a pretty big tournament, I think, out east. It is traditionally pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know how many years they've had the girls bracket as well, the girls tournament as well at the tournament, but I know they had it this year. And it looked really, really competitive. So Northwest won the tournament with 160.5, and then North Henderson was right behind them with just 151. So less than a 10-point difference between those two teams.
Wow. So Northwest and Clarksville, right? Chris Bedell.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, yeah. There you go. Congratulations, Coach. Good work.
So it's cool that there's like diversity in location for these tournaments, and all these teams are being able to like find themselves, or lots of different teams are being able to find themselves like on top at different points in different areas in the state. So it's cool that everyone's getting some different competition. I'm sure that's the goal of some of these teams traveling to like different areas of the state, is just being able to see different competition, because everyone's preparing for what seems right around the corner, which is these region state tournaments coming up soon. So
isn't it crazy? I mean, it's like this every year.
I know. A few weeks ago, we were like, "Oh, we're gonna have so much to talk about. It's almost high school season," and now it's just like almost over. That's what it feels like.
I know. Pretty soon we're gonna have a ton to talk about, because it's all these, we're gonna have all these sectionals and region tournaments, and then the state, and it's pretty crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, it's been fun to see just everyone traveling and what happens what weekends. And so that was this past weekend, our girls wrestling in Tennessee. We will have our guest today was competing at a duel at Greenville last week. So it was a home duel for this athlete. They were competing against Cock County, and she had this super cool experience that there might be some out there, so I'm not going to say there's not any, but at least I haven't heard of yet any other females who have reached this in the state of Tennessee. But in her duel at home, she wrestled a match and won, and it ended up being her 100th win for her TNUSAW record. So her name is Jenna Baines. I think she's in the waiting room already. Do you see her?
So I'm going to add her to the stage right now. Let's get her on in here. There he is. It's 100 century, the century girl.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment. Whenever I heard about that you reached 100 wins, I thought hands down we had to have this person on here, because one, for you to be able to win that many matches is awesome for any athlete. Like, this is a big goal and something we celebrate on the boys and girls side, but it's super cool and says a lot about what's going on in our state. And, you know, just you as an athlete and the coaching staff that you've had, that you've been able to travel and find enough matches to even be able to win 100 of them. I didn't even have 100 matches in my like total record whenever I was competing. Just a few years ago. So that's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Jenna.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
As always. Sorry. Jenna, this is Mike Hatcher. He's our state chairman for TNUSAW.
How we doing? How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, he's throwing this thing together and giving us a super cool opportunity to have people like you on and just be able to highlight your accomplishments. So Mike, Jenna, Mike. This is also my first time meeting Jenna. So nice to meet you, Jenna. But Jenna wrestles at Greenville. She's the first state champion from her school. And most recently, she reached 100 wins. So tell us a little bit what it's like to be able to, like, you know, be the first state champion from your school and kind of like set that legacy and example for the other girls in your program.
Yeah, it's definitely like, so I won state as a freshman and that was COVID year. Mm-hmm. So I definitely had not as much wrestling experience because that was my first year wrestling. I started as a freshman. But I remember winning state as a freshman. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the greatest thing ever. And then I was like, now I got to do it, 3 more years. Like I'm just a freshman. So I've definitely had a very long journey to this year, and looking forward to the state tournament in February, hopefully to win another state title. But yeah, I mean, I've gone everywhere that I can. Like this year, I'm the only girl with Greenville. Okay. So I've definitely been traveling to where I can to get matches and doing what I can. It's definitely been a lot more training this year, more than matches, but I'm just very grateful to be able to still compete, and then get that 100 wins last week. Yeah. So. But it's honestly amazing. Like you don't really think about it. And then I'm like, I was at like, I think 93, like two weekends ago at a tournament. And I was like, Dad, I really got to get these matches going before the state tournament. Like I want to hit that 100 wins. And he's like, you know what? We're just going to wrestle as much as we can and like hope for the best. And then my coach was like, hey, like Cobb County has like 7 girls. He was like, they might not be all your weight class. He was like, there's one that's like 120. He's like, do you want to wrestle? And I was like, yeah. I was like, sure, I don't care. I was like, I'm just going to go out there and do my best. And I had never wrestled her before. So I was like, I didn't really know what to expect. But I was like, this is my home crowd. Like it's only my second home duel that I had wrestled. And I was like, I just got to go out there and compete. And the crowd, they're always so good. Like they just cheer you on. It makes you feel like, I can do anything right now. So, but yeah, it was definitely incredible to experience.
That's cool. Did everyone in the arena or in the gym or at least on your team, like know the situation that you were going for your 100th win?
Yeah. So it was my senior night that night. And so when they did our introductions, they brought us the seniors out and my coach like called on the mic and he was like, yeah, she's 99-14. Like this is her 100 win night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like now I'm nervous, right?
Pressure.
Yeah. But everybody, like even the other coaches from the other team were like super, supportive and were like, good job and everything. So it was definitely a good experience.
That's awesome. How intimidating would it be to step up to the girl who's going for her 100th win? Like
I know. I was like, I just like kept looking at her, and I'm like, I gotta wrestle you, and she's just like keeps staring at me. I'm like, I don't want anything bad. Like like this is for me. Like I just want to get this 100 win over with. So.
Yeah. Well, congrats for actually getting it over with. Tell us like a little bit about the years. I mean, coming up, obviously you don't get 100 wins just in one season. So tell us a little bit just about your journey being like one of the few girls in your program, and how did you go about traveling and fighting this many matches within your time in high school?
So my freshman year, I definitely, even though it was COVID year, I definitely had a lot more matches. I think we only had one other girl my freshman year, and she had wrestled in middle school, so she kind of knew what she was doing. And so we were like, just going to local tournaments and, we went to Fendetti my freshman year, just kind of local tournaments just to get matches in, and then didn't really expect to win state. So now they're like, okay, we got to take you to these big tournaments. So like my sophomore year, we had about like 6 or 7 girls, and like some of them weren't fully committed, but it definitely was like, we have a bigger team now. We're going to go to these tournaments because now we have to get exposure. And I think all 4 years we kind of went to the same roundabout tournaments, and then like last year and this year we kind of kicked it up, like going to national tournaments, and like Florida we went to knockout the past 2 years. But like even like at a local level, there's so many small tournaments that people don't really go to. But we took advantage of that because I was like, I want to get better and just wrestle and get mat time because that's what I knew was going to make me better. So, but like this year, we've chose more harder tournaments to go to and kind of sprinkled a little bit of local just because I've wrestled some girls, 10, 15 times throughout my high school career just because, they live right across the street. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So whenever it's for the majority of the time when you've been the only or one of the few girls on your team, is it like your coach at Greenville and just your dad who travels with you, or like who's your entourage whenever you're doing these things?
I wrestled for club wrestling at E3, which is in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Okay.
Dobbins Bennett High School. And I wrestled for them for a little while, and then about 2 years ago, I started wrestling for this girl named Cassidy. She wrestled at King. She's actually teammates with my coach that's going to be my college coach. Nice. So we traveled for about a year and a half together. We went to NHSCAs and Fargo together. She definitely had the freestyle experience that I needed, making that transition into college. So I definitely was blessed to find her. But yeah, they're pretty much my crowd, my dad, my coaches. So yeah.
That's awesome. And Jenna, you provided us the most perfect transition. I know,
you planned.
I know. It's like you.
Why you make it so easy on Kenya? Come on. Get a challenge for her.
Everyone, I'm sure in your circle, your friends and families and your teammates, know the plan that you have moving forward. And if people are paying like super close attention, they might have picked it up by your sweatshirt. But would you like to announce to all of our listeners on our podcast where you're going to be continuing your wrestling journey?
Yeah, I'm committing to Frostburg State University. It's in Maryland. I've actually already signed, so I've already.
That's awesome. I thought it was just committed, so there's no going back now.
Nope, I'm in it.
No going back. Tell us, that's awesome. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about, how you or why you chose Frostburg. Did you get to visit there? Tell me about like you meeting the coaching staff and everything.
So I've known the coach she didn't used to coach at Frostburg. She used to coach at Gannon University in Pennsylvania. I met her my freshman year at a camp in North Carolina, and I've wrestled with her. Like we just like did a couple live goes, and I was like, dang, this girl is really good. And I was like, I just really want to, get to know her better. And like, of course I was young, so we couldn't really like talk, but we wrestled, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want to wrestle for her when I'm older. And so like next 2 years, I just kept finding camps to go to, like that what she was doing. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to look into the college that she coaches. And so I ended up taking a visit up to Pennsylvania for her college that she was at. And I was like, man, like this is really where I want to go. And then she ended up leaving that college. And so I was like, okay, I got to find somewhere else. And then she chose Frostburg University, which had never had a women's wrestling program. And I was like, okay, like maybe this is my thing. I don't really know yet. And so I went up to visit, and I absolutely loved it. They have a nursing program, which is like what I want to do. It's a great nursing program. The environment is great. It reminds me a lot of East Tennessee. Like there's a lot of trees and hiking and all that stuff. Cool. So I just fell in love as soon as I went there. I was like, my dad was with me, and I was like, Dad, I was like, this is where I want to go. Like I already know. And so along with Coach Bree, there's Coach Caitlin, and she wrestled for Life University.
Okay.
And they both are incredible people. Like they've been so supportive along my journey. They're like, if you don't choose to go here, we're still like going to support you and like, through your wrestling journey. And so I just really knew, like, because they were so good, such good people. So.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier whenever you feel like you can just trust the people that you're buying into, right? Did you get to visit any other schools, or did you like have this recruiting conversation with other coaches, or you were pretty dead set?
So I visited Gannon, and I talked to a couple other colleges. I actually was possibly going to visit Bruton Parker, but I ended up making the decision for Frostburg pretty soon. I mean, I kind of knew, but I wanted to like talk to other coaches, see like what I could be offered and everything. But ultimately, I think I just had it dead set in my heart that that's where I was going to go. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I guess when you know, that's what people say.
Yeah.
Type of training. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Maryland,
awesome.
Maryland, right? You said?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. So
It's
these
about-
winters we're having now, we're just preparing you for what's
Yeah, I
coming.
know.
Get
It's
ready for that
about
one.
6.5 hours. So from where I live.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Not too
Did you
bad
get to, I know this team is still newer, but did you get to meet the other girls on the team?
Yes, I did. So I met them when I went up there, and they had a couple more girls then. I think some of them are hurt now, but last weekend with the King Open, I went up to see that, and some of them are there, so I got to hang out with them, and they're really cool people, and they definitely are easy to get along with. So it made it so much like easier to transition, you know, from my team now to them. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be great. Well, Jenna, you have made it to like a place in your career, especially as a female wrestler from Tennessee, that so many other people, have their dreams set on being able to, get an offer from a college to continue to pursue wrestling, or they may even have a goal set to have 100 wins. And you've actually done it. You're doing it now. So is there any advice that you would give to some younger girls in the state who want to be able to have like the same type of success and maybe even get to wrestle in college like you will?
Yeah. Like I've always said this, like I'm not the best athlete, I'm not the best wrestler, like I don't really have anything special, but I'm just committed to the sport and I train and I do things right and I just keep going back to the room and I just tell myself like, if you keep going, then things are going to pay off. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people kind of have a disconnect with that. They don't really want to put in the work or go in the room every day. And I mean, I'm just here to say that it pays off. It really does. I mean, look at me, I'm going to college now to wrestle, and this is like everything I've, dreamt of. So I think that consistency is key, and just to keep going even when it seems like you can't really keep going. So.
Absolutely.
This girl's gonna make a good coach someday, I think. Tell you what, right there, she's well ahead of the game.
Go ahead and make us a deal, because Hatch has been doing this for me for not quite as long. I'm catching you a little early, but make us a deal that after you go achieve big things in Maryland, you'll come back to Tennessee and help out some of the girls in our state.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll hold you to it. We got it on the record.
Jenna's learning.
Awesome.
She's picking it up now. There we go.
Figure it out. I gotta line them up. So 4 or 5 years from now, we'll see you back down here.
Absolutely.
You're on episode 15. It took episode 15 for Kenny to say, okay, you know what? I need to start making this plug here, getting all these girls back in Tennessee. There you go.
Yeah, we'll have you back. Awesome. Well, Mike, do you have anything for Jenna before we let her go?
No, I tell you what, congrats on that 100 wins. I mean, what's really impressive about that, like, and Kenya's already alluded to, is the fact that, I mean, just finding that many matches, on the girl side, it's extremely difficult. So that's just a testament to you, your coaches, and just everybody that's really kind of surrounded yourself with those competitions. I mean, you said you were at the time, 99-14. So you've had 100, 114 matches up to this point. I mean, finding 114 matches is very difficult, at the high school level when it comes to girls. So, I mean, on the guy side, they wrestle 50, 60 times a year, whereas the girl side is much tougher. So, man, Jenna, congratulations. And like all the stuff that you just, all the suggestions and all the advice that you just gave to, people out there. I mean, you've obviously been a living testament to that. And so we're super proud of you, not only to have you here in Tennessee, but now repping us in Maryland.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Show those Northeasterners. We got some wrestlers down here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Show them what's up.
Absolutely. Well, Jenna, thank you so much for joining us. We're super proud to have you represent our state. So good luck. We'll be following you.
Thank you so much.
Got it. Thanks, Jenna. All right. Oh, my bad. Too early. I got our next guest and too early. My bad, Ethan.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, what a great girl. That's awesome. Congratulations to her. I mean, it's crazy because because you texted me as far as the college she was going to, and I was like, so many of these colleges are pumping up girls.
They're just left and right. Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like how many of them are popping up. And we talked about this on multiple occasions, and it's just, man, it's been great. I mean, it's just awesome to see, get all the opportunities out there for the girls on the girls side. So come on, guys side, come on. We can't be taking these programs away. We got to keep adding, got to keep up the girls.
Absolutely.
Keep up the Joneses here. So, all right.
Well, I know Yeah, I guess we won't. You already kind of gave us a spoiler, but
Yeah, well, I got to go some results too. I mean,
yeah,
I got to my trigger finger because I like those kids a little bit. So I like those Chuck boys.
yeah.
But
Well,
we got to hold off a little bit.
yeah,
But
first tell us a little bit of what happened this
yeah.
past
Oh,
week.
we had a ton going on. I mean, first of all, I guess it could come to this on the boys and girls side, but Memphis had a top 100 tournament. Now, this is the second leg of the top of the 4 that they do. I believe this is. Wait, no. Yeah, I think it's the second one. But anyway, they had over 430 kids there at that tournament.
Wow.
Yep, yeah. So, and that one's a little bit harder to get to. I mean, it is because it's just Memphis is literally
It's not central.
It's a long ways out there. So, it's tough to get to, but that's still a really really good, really solid number considering, the Middle Tennessee area here, is still 3 hours away there. I mean, so everybody in the east and of course, down in the south and the Chattanooga area there. I mean, it's a good little jaunt for them. So congrats on the Memphis side out there, the AAU events there. Taking it back over to actually keeping it out on West. Christian Brothers had their Christian Brothers duels last weekend. Really competitive tournament. I mean, Derek and his crew out there do a really good job with that. So Summit from Middle Tennessee here ended up winning the title, winning the team title. They beat Christian Brothers in the finals, 44-22. So pretty, solid salty competitive match there, I'm sure. Third place, Lakeway was third. They beat Cabot from Arkansas, 37-32 for third place. Outstanding wrestler was Landon DeSalle from Summit. No surprise there. I mean, I'm sure he lights it up wherever he goes, that's for sure. So yeah, good stuff happening out west. Here in the middle, we had a big tournament here at Brentwood High School. It's a pretty big, good size annual tournament. It's called the GP West tournament. They actually do some really cool stuff. They Coach Damon Smith, gives a cowboy hat for the winner. So yeah, so I think they get the kids get a kick out of that. They always have Modern Day from Indiana come down, and then of course there's a lot of really good Tennessee teams that join in here. So pretty competitive tournament there as well. Team, I can go down the results here real quick. 106, Andrew Workman from Blackman was a champ. 113, Caleb Schaefer from Evansville, Modern Day. He was a champ. He beat Reed Lawful from Brentwood in the finals, which is a pretty good tough weight class at 113. Some really good kids in there. Ty Henderson from Evansville, Modern Day was a champ there. Beat Bo Dominguez from Brentwood Academy in the finals. Isaiah Schaefer from Modern Day as well beat Hunter Heflin from Arlington out there in Memphis. Beat him for the championship there at 126. 132, Aslan Nadeau from Blackman came home with a cowboy hat. Beat Layden Beasley from Oakland. That was at 132. Then my boy Rosh Yazdani, second tournament win for him down at 138. So shout out to him. Beat Camden Bowman from Modern Day in the finals. Rosh is just wrestling really, really, really well at 38. Looking forward to seeing him close out a really good senior year. 144, Alex Velasquez from Green Hill, who's done a ton of wrestling in the offseason. Very, very proud of Alex. He came away with the hat too as well. Beat Logan Brown from Kirkwood in the finals at 150. Tyler Vanover from Modern Day beat Brody McLemore from local kid here from Eagleville. Tough kid too. Really good match in the finals. 1-0. I actually was at that tournament. So yeah, it was a great match in the finals. 157, Clark Vaughn from Brentwood got his first hat as a senior, so good for him.
Awesome.
Beat Trent Crisp from Bradley Central in the finals. Looked really good doing it too. Got a major in the finals, yeah. So he's doing really, really well as well. Calhoun, Georgia had themselves a champ at 165. Isaac Green beat Taylor Wimsat from Brentwood Academies. It's Taylor's second runner-up finish here in the last couple weeks, so he's wrestling pretty well as well. Really good match in the finals, actually 4-3 match. It was a very tight match. Jake Stacy at 175 basically crushed the competition. He's looking really good. He's, man, like I said again, Little Rock, they got a good one there. Jake Stacy from Green Hill. Tech fall in the finals over Landon Franklin from Blackman. 190, Haven Jenkins from Oakland had a great tournament. Beat Brody Belleville from Brentwood Academy in the finals. At 215, Rob Atwood had a great match with Peyton Langen from Clarksville, came out on top of the tiebreaker 2-1. And the big boys, Jackson from Brentwood, he pinned Logan Duncan from Station Camp in the finals at 285. So really competitive tournament. It's a great tournament that they run over there. So yeah, a lot of good stuff happening there in Middle Tennessee. And then of course, obviously, we had the Fandetti, which you alluded to as well. This is a pretty solid tournament on that side of the state. But where's my results? My bad here. Sorry about this, everyone. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 106. Alexandro Toole from Avery County won the 106 pound bracket. Avery County had another champ at 113 from Cooper Foster. 120 from Hardin Valley. Braden Kearns was the champ there at 120. 126, Chase Smalling from Science Hill came away with the title there. 132, Cooper Davis of Cox Mill was a champ there at 132. 138, Grant Reese of Avery County came away with a major decision there in the finals, winning that bracket. 144, Kenneth Pritz of Avery County came away there with a fall to win that title. At 150, Aiden Hood of Pigeon Forge, another fall in the finals, bringing home that title at 150. 157, Jamie Vega of North Henderson won that particular bracket. 165, Andrew Meadows of Mount Airy as well. Another fall in the finals at 165. 175 was Cale Dunn of Avery County. And he had another fall in the finals there at 175. A lot of falls there in the finals. Bandetti. Boy. And Reese Lawrence of River Bluff won the 190 pound bracket. Reese Meadows of North Henderson won the 215. And at 285, Brody Husky of Morristown West won that 285 pound bracket. So pretty competitive stuff going on there at the Fandetti, as always, hosted by Science Hill. Great tournament out there. So we are going now. And like I said, you alluded to some of the duels, and that was where a lot of the fireworks were going on in the, well, I guess you could call it the Chattanooga area, but it took a team from Middle Tennessee going and and getting things going. But Father Ryan traveled over to Chattanooga and wrestled three really, really solid teams. Obviously, they wrestled Cleveland. I think it was on last Friday, and then Baylor and McCall on Saturday.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah, it wasn't an easy weekend for them.
No, they had three really good teams, and they were all actually they were all super, super competitive matches. I mean, there was obviously the scores are really tight. There wasn't really anybody pulled away. I know that on the first match on Friday, just looking at those results, some great matches. Obviously, when you pair up Cleveland and Father Ryan, I mean, man, you're always going to have some really good stuff going on there. But at the end of the duel, Cleveland came away with a 35-32 win. Like I said, I mean, it looked like a really, really competitive match up and down the line. I'd say the most competitive match was probably Zach Boskin beating Brody Gobble in the 126 pound match, a sudden victory 3-1. That's like I said, that's two really, really, really solid guys right there on our state that squaring off at 126. So I'm sure they had quite the fireworks. And then 175 Cy Fowler beat Sawyer Rutherford, who's that was a pretty good match too. It was 175, beat him 6-0. So real close match there, 35-32, won by Cleveland over Father Ryan. And then Father Ryan, they didn't miss a step, boy. They went right away and they wrestled Baylor, who I couldn't get the individual results for, but pretty competitive duel. Baylor won 37-24 over Father Ryan. So pretty good match. Obviously Baylor's pretty loaded this year. They got a pretty strong squad this year. So but like I said, I think that Father Ryan I don't think that they had a couple guys that were out of that lineup there, but still Baylor's got a really, really strong team. And then Macaulay came away with a 39-36 win over Father Ryan this week, which is a great duel. I think probably the highlight match there was definitely at 132, where Kason Roark, two-time state champ from Father Ryan, beat Dylan Villers, the 8th grader from Macaulay, 8-6 at 132. So that was definitely that was one of the marquee matches right there in that particular duel. So hats off to those teams wrestling each other, and really getting in there, mixing it up, and just really, because that's what people want to see. They want to see those really high level teams getting after it, but seeing those high level matches. So like I said, hats off to them, and And again, really great stuff there for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, but other than that, we also had a pretty active week in the college commitment world. We just had Jenna committing, showing her next colors for the next, I guess, 4 or 5 years of her career, whatever that leads on to be. But now we have another guest here, and I'm going to go ahead and throw him up here because I already did once. And there he is. Ethan, you're a Chuck. You're a Chuck.
How are y'all?
Good. The Uhorchuk name is no stranger not only to Tennessee wrestling, but now to our Tennessee USA Wrestling Power Hour podcast. Because, Kenya Sloan has heard this name over and over and over and over again, basically every weekend. So that's that. Ethan, how we doing?
Good, doing good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Big week
sir.
for you, my man.
Yeah.
How's all the competitions and everything going? What's happening?
It was good. We actually wrestled Baylor on Friday.
Oh, you did?
We did, and it was like 50-21, but there were some good matches in there. Like me and Joe got some good matches. So
okay, who'd you have from Baylor?
Malachi Bucket.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Malachi Bucket, very tough.
Yeah.
Tough upcoming freshman, real tough. Yeah, how'd that one go?
Oh, it was 5-1.
5-1. Okay, yeah, that's good. Good win for you.
Yeah.
Good. Be the battle of the tall, skinny kids.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a little weird to wrestle, but styles clash, so it was good.
Well, you guys probably get a lot of wrestling in with each other at the Minion Room.
Yeah.
First time y'all wrestled.
I was probably I think we wrestled when he was at Boyd. We wrestled like twice.
Okay.
But that was like the first time we wrestled in like a year or two.
That's right. Well, good deal. Well, like I said, without further ado, my man, you know why we got you in here. What's the deal? Where are you spending your college years at?
Yeah, so I'm staying at home and just representing UTC.
That's it, right there. Hold on a second. I always do this whenever I got some,
Oh my goodness.
I got some swag. There it is, right there. Coach Michelle. Hey man, don't think I don't still have Chattanooga gear. Shoot, you kidding me? I busted out. I think on this show I busted out Little Rock because Javi gave me a Little Rock shirt. And then App State because John Mark gave me an App State shirt. Of course, I got a lot of Chattanooga stuff. So I've actually been waiting to wear this one because this is kind of like a throwback one. See this? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's a nice one, huh? This is a throwback one. This is old school right here. I think this is back when I was coaching Thesslinger. Well, good deal. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you.
Staying home, huh? You excited about it?
Yes, sir. Very excited.
Yeah. What locked you in with Chattanooga? Because I know just giving everybody back history, I think that you probably weren't real sure what you were going to do if you're going to go down the baseball path or the wrestling path for the longest time, right?
Right. Like that's like 8th grade. I wasn't really sure, but after the 8th grade year of baseball, like the summer, I just wanted to stick with wrestling. Couldn't do baseball, too slow of a sport.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I just wanted to wrestle D1. But yeah, I would say I've been around like the coaches in there because I wrestle Minions and the RTC. We wrestle there all the time. And, the coaches are committed. They put academics before wrestling. And I got a great relationship with them. And then also Sean being right there. Yep. So it kind of like came together.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. It's kind of it's a great situation when you have everything that you really need, right there in your backyard.
Right.
And plus you're able to stay home, and I'm sure your parents are glad that at least one of you is going to stay around, huh?
Maybe. They might not.
maybe not.
Yeah. A few extra loads of laundry mom will have to do every week for a few years.
No, they probably won't let me come home at all.
That's probably true. Probably true. What are you looking forward to the most here when you're talking like when you joining the mock team?
Honestly, like working with the coaches, like working with Sean, they all know like how I wrestle, like who I am as a person and who I am as a wrestler. So just building off that with them, and then just being the best person I can be there, and just succeeding there. Honestly.
Mm-hmm. So now, what started like your whole recruiting process when you decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this wrestling moving forward here. Kind of walk us through like when colleges started maybe reaching out to you, and then how it all kind of came about with UTC.
So yeah, over the summer, the first day they could contact me, a few schools contacted me, and then we went up to Grappler and up in Michigan. I took my first visit there up in Michigan State, and it was just unofficial. And then the next week we had fall break, I'm pretty sure, and that's why I really went on my visits. I took an official at West Point, Then I went to Brown, and then we came back to like Virginia, and all the coaches were great. They just and I like narrowed it down to 3. So once Cody Russell went up to Hofstra, then I also took a visit there. So then I narrowed it down to Hofstra, West Point, or UTC, and then I really narrowed it down to 2, either West Point or UTC, because I knew both of them. I went to camps up at West Point, and my brothers are there, and then I just felt at home at UTC, knowing like all the guys and all the coaches. It just felt right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good. Well, like I said, it's kind of, it probably took a little bit on your end, I guess, just to, you've kind of broken that little pipeline, the Uhorchuk pipeline or West Point. I'm sure you probably had to break, Coach Ward's heart there, telling him you're going to UTC, because he probably, figured maybe had you in the bag, maybe with having the other 2 up there, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I think he's supportive. We texted a little bit after, and he said he's still supportive of our family and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, of course, can't burn that bridge. Yeah, how your brothers doing up there? They're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing good. They came down for Christmas, and Daniel wrestled in the scuffle.
Okay.
Caleb is still hurt with the shoulder. He like dislocated it and then like tore whatever it's called in there.
Labrum.
Labrum.
Yeah, labrum there. God.
Yeah.
But so he's out, but he's been battling that, but he's fine. And then Daniel came down for the scuffle. Didn't wrestle his best, but still went out there and competed. And we just got to spend a lot of time with them. But they're doing good up there.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, like I said, being at West Point, that's a great place to be for sure. That's a great place for sure. So moving forward here, you got some big stuff coming up here in the next month. I say month and a half.
Yeah. I think we wrestle Bradley on Friday, which will be a good duel. We should win that. And then I think we wrestle next week on Tuesday. We wrestle region duels, which is Saudi, and that'll be a big
That's gonna be a big match.
Yeah, it's the big match. It probably will be state finals, but I'm not sure. Pigeon Forge is always good, so
yeah.
But then state duels and then individuals.
Yeah. What's the goal? The goal's the same for you every year, isn't it?
Yeah, just to win.
Yeah, another title.
Yeah.
Another title. Get another title. Uhorchuk, another title. Why not? Huh? So now what's going on after Tennessee TWSAA state? What do you? I know. Like I said, these guys. I mean, these guys are at everything. Kenya. I mean, they really are, and that's why, obviously, we're always constantly bringing the names up about different winning this, winning that type of stuff, because they literally wrestle in everything. What do you got going on this spring and summer and so forth?
I mean, Sean, we've already talked about going to Fargo again, and then we always go to NHSCA after the season, so we'll probably do that, and then we're probably going to go to Southeast this year. We didn't last year. We went to the NHSCA duels, so I'm not sure which one we're going to go to because they fall on the same weekend. I wish they didn't, but and then just all those tournaments after, like Super 32, and even though that's a whole another long time away, but just training for them still,
Yeah, for sure. Dang. Yeah. Like I said, it's always the same thing year in and year out, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. How'd that Fargo experience work for you last year? This was the first time you've been in Fargo.
I mean, it was fun. Like, I didn't do as good as I wanted to, but I had a tough draw first round, and I lost. Could have won my match, and then I went like 2-2, I think, something like that, 3-2. But I mean, never satisfied. I always want to go back and do better, but it was fun. Yeah. Seeing my brother get third, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys, like I said, I mean, from the Olympic style perspective, that's one thing that you guys haven't really done a whole lot of. And
that was our first year.
Yeah. Started getting on that this past year, and man, I mean, just the performance that you guys had in the off season, not only just for your brother, but yourself, and how you did, in the off season and the Olympic styles. I was really, really impressed. So, I mean, I love the fact that you guys are getting interested in that, and then, continue to move forward, and not only, getting those competitions for yourself, but obviously, we love having the best kids in our state representing our state, and you guys are definitely those. So like I said, man, we really appreciate your commitment, not only to the sport, but, to benefit yourself, but your commitment to the state of Tennessee and repping us on the national level for sure, my man.
Yes, sir. It's awesome.
You got it, man. Like good. Like I said, man, I'm really, really happy for you, man. Keeping your talents there in Chattanooga. I'm glad that UTC's, we're going after some of our in-state talent, because I tell you right now, we have we have a lot of really good kids, in the state, not only right now, but man, coming up to the pipeline, we have some really good kids in here. So hopefully we can find a home for them here inside the Tennessee borders. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Probably going to use you as an active recruiter on that.
Maybe they might. I'm not sure.
Be crazy not to, man. Everybody loves these Uhorchuk guys. Shoot.
I guess something like that.
Yeah. Okay. You got anything from my man here?
Oh, no, it's super nice to meet you, Ethan. It's the first time I've gotten to meet you, but just
Yeah.
so much respect and admiration for your decision to stay home. I think a lot of people just want to make, some big move or go somewhere crazy and far and just get away from home. But for you to be able to just recognize that this is a place where you'll be able to grow and have the most success and have coaches that know you and will be good for you, I think that's just super mature and admirable. So a lot of respect to you, and we know you'll do great at UTC. So we're excited.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad because keeping home now. I get to kind of watch him a little bit closer now. I busted up my UTC shirt for you, Ethan.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send him a newer one so he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some gear.
Okay. Yeah. This one's old school. You got to get me some new stuff here. All right, my man. Well, I appreciate your time and thanks so much for jumping on.
Thank you for having me. For sure.
Absolutely. We're super proud of you, man. And like I said, finish strong this year, and I'm sure I will see you around here soon.
Yes, sir. For sure.
Tell your family I said hello, buddy.
Will do. Thank you for having me.
You got it. See ya. Yeah, good kid there, boy. He's those Uhorchuk kids, man, they're rock stars. They're awesome.
Yeah. He eases humility. Like he's just like, oh, I'll just win another one of these, or I'm just gonna stay home. He's gonna go to UTC. You live in some little kid's dream right now, like their lifelong aspiration. He's just like,
yeah. I mean, it was because he was the one. I mean, because the other three, I mean, everybody's okay. They're gonna wrestle, but Ethan was the one that were like, okay, we don't know. We're not sure if this kid's gonna wrestle baseball or not. I was actually coaching at Signal Mountain when he came in as I want to say. Freshman, because he was on there, Caleb was on there, and Daniel was on there. Yeah, so I think he was freshman. And I was like, dang, we got to get this kid off the baseball diamond. he's so mean. Him and Caleb, they're so mean. They were so tough. They were able to be fighting each other every day at practice. I mean, I had to kind of like a little bit break it up. Okay, break it up, because they were just scrapping. It was so good, And their older brother Daniel, he's such a nice kid, but those two, man, they're scrappers. So, and JoJo too. So, but no, those kids are awesome. It's great. It's great having them in here. And I tell you what, before maybe this was a testament to who we had the guests, because I'm sure the only common thing we have going on right now is you and I. All right. Every week, you and I are on here. Maybe it's our guests like Jenna, Ethan, and our next guest right here. We just went over 40 people tuning in.
It's about you and I.
I'm not even listen. I'm not giving any credit whatsoever to this 10-degree weather. I don't care. Maybe I'm going to say it was our guests. Our guests, 40 viewers. 40 viewers. We're normally just teetering around like 15, 17 type of thing. Not tonight. You made a comment last week. We're getting better at this. So I think maybe that's it too.
I don't know. I think we're just getting some really cool people on here, Mike. You and I are cool enough to bring 40 people.
That's true. Yeah, we're not cool enough. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not cool enough to bring 40 people. I'd never bring 40 people to a party ever. Well, okay, maybe once.
I'm like, if anyone can bring 40 people to a party, it's my guy.
40, shoot, come on now, 40. Anyway, well, we got another guy that's no stranger in here, and I'm sure you're probably ready to reconnect with this young man. So let's get another college commitment up in here. Hunter Sturgill. There he is. What's going on?
Not much.
Background. You got any deer like heads and stuff like that in the background?
I got a couple behind me.
Is that you? I'm gonna have to go hunting with your dad one more time so I can have one in the back of mine.
Yeah.
I went hunting. His dad took me hunting before I went on my cruise.
I remember. Yeah.
Good. I got my first deer.
Next time it's gonna be a bigger one.
I know. I'm going to tell everybody, because I'm sure your dad and Chittum and everybody they're going to give me a hard time and they're going to blast it out there anyway. Yes, I missed the first one and it was really big. Whatever. It is what it is. I didn't know you could adjust how to adjust the scope.
Yeah, that's my dad's fault. My dad should have told you that. He's the man.
Well, he did enough he basically lined it up for me and everything. I mean, he did everything except for pull the trigger. That was like, I thought, I thought maybe I could see it a little bit. I could zero it in a little bit more so I could get a little bit closer. And I was like, I'll just try to shoot it. And I missed it. It's a big one too. But like I told, okay, so Chittum was giving me a hard time, and I told him, I said, listen, I didn't want to hit the big one. It was like in the broad daylight. It's a bigger
Right.
deer.
Yeah,
Bigger
that was unfair.
broad daylight. That's way too easy of a shot. Way too easy.
Yeah.
Okay, me, listen. I'll wait until I get the smaller deer to come out there when it's like literally pretty much dark. Now that's a true sportsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want the bigger one.
You never want
You did the right thing.
Hunter, how we doing? I'm not even going to introduce you two. You two know each other from back. You two. I think you two probably used to wrestle back in the day, didn't you?
We definitely used to drill together.
Hunter, Ken used to whoop your butt.
Yeah, she did. There's no doubt.
See, so you know when you start announcing this college decision here, you almost actually need to thank Kenya a little bit for those little butt whoopings back in the day.
Hey, I'll take the creds. I might have been beating up on a little kid. He's pretty much a grown man now. But
yeah, I always he's a little banged. Every time he's banged up a little bit, that's when I tell him. I said, listen, I'll go with you a little bit. Oh, your ribs are hurting. Last time, you
gotta take the shots.
We'll go parterre. I'm on top the whole time though. I only wrestle him like in certain handicap areas. That's all I do there. Other than that, full speed, nah. Yeah, no, full strength, that ain't happening. Not this dude. So welcome everybody. We got Hunter Sturgill on here, and we're not going to waste any time. We wasted enough time already. I've been chit-chatting whatever about hunting and everything. Hunter, where are you going? Where are you going to school? Tell us, break it down for us.
Well, Coach, I'm going to be spending my 4 years in Bloomington.
Oh, look at that.
Awesome.
We got another Division I signee here in Tennessee. I love it. Well, you know what? Here's the deal, Hunter. I would have taken, this one off and put an Indiana shirt on, but I texted Dixon if he's listening, and he never sent me a shirt.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, well, so I know Dixon isn't reliable. He's not reliable. Give me a shirt. So you're gonna have to get me some Indiana gear because I'm not gonna put that on my Dixon. My man. Well, congratulations, because
thank you.
I tell you what, it wasn't like Indiana was the only school going after you. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Walk us through that recruiting process and like how, just from the first day when everybody can contact you. How did that go?
So that first day, I was actually at junior duels, and I've been wrestling already a couple of days, just making sure my weight was good and getting ready to wrestle some of the top guys in the country and freestyle and Greco and all that stuff. So like even before going in, my dad's like, this is going to happen. These coaches are going to call you. Mm-hmm. But let's focus on your job here to wrestle for Team Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So just maybe send a voicemail, let them know that you're a little busy right now. They can get back to you at any time. And even on that day, I still took calls, of course. I'm a little kid.
There's one college coach is calling you, man.
But, day one, Indiana was for sure one of the first ones to call me. Oregon State, Iowa, those were kind of my three from the get-go.
Yeah.
And, I took my visits pretty early, kind of before school started, and then kind of settled on Indiana because they had everything that I was looking for. All the coaching staff, I love those guys. Coach Chad Red, Coach Ryan Lefever, Coach Mike Dixon, Coach Escobedo, all those guys are absolutely awesome. And I felt just at home there when I went. And so even for my 4 years as a college athlete and a college student, I saw my career unfolding as I was there. They've got a fantastic dental school in Indianapolis. It's part of their sister school, which is what I wanted to go through. I'll become a dentist, open up my own practice. And they've got tons of connections there with oral surgeons and other dentists that have gone through the program and that have been student athletes in that environment. So that's all that, they had everything I was looking for. It was super, super exciting to be in an atmosphere where everybody's working hard and they're trying to build something. Like Indiana hasn't been the best program in the Big Ten for the past couple of years, but they're putting their money where their mouth is, especially with me. They got on the ball with me super early. And in my mind, that put them at the top of my list. They put their money where their mouth was and got me on campus and got me to see everything. And that was super impactful for me. And I'm excited to be a part of a program that's building and that wants to be great again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they've definitely had a resurgence, so to speak. When Coach Escobedo took over, he's done a fantastic job there. Because I'm telling you what, the Big Ten is such a it's so difficult to start climbing up that. To start climbing up that Big Ten scale, just because I mean, if you just look at the landscape of the Big Ten, so you got Iowa, you got Penn State, you got Michigan, you got Minnesota. I mean, that's 4 teams right there. Wisconsin. Those are just 5 that pop. Ohio State. How did I forget that one? I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's 6 teams right there that like are not only just coached by like really, really great coaches, but I mean, the resources alone at those 6 universities, just in those right there, are very, very significant, especially in this day and age. So you're looking at it like just to crack the top 6 in this conference.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's crazy. But at the end of the day, though, when you're wrestling the Big Ten, whether you're in the top 5 or you're within the top 10, top 12, or whatever, you're just qualifying out of that conference. I mean, you're automatically literally taking, you can kind of figure yourself in that top 10, top 15, at your weight class, as you go on the national tournament and so forth. So
that was
the Big Ten with that schedule is amazing.
Yeah, that was super appealing as well. That just Indiana being a Big Ten school. I know that my preseason is going to be a little lighter, and then I'm going to come into my postseason and dual season with the toughest teams in the country. I'm going to push myself every weekend, every week. So that's nothing new for me, Yeah. But I mean, coming from where I've come from and just working my butt off every day, I know that's what I'm going to have to do anyways. So it doesn't matter where I'm going to succeed in my mind. But Indiana was the fit. Indiana was the place where I saw myself succeeding the best in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, Coach SB, he's done a fantastic job there. Getting Dixon there, it's a huge, huge hire, being an alumni and being the recruiter that Mike is. And that program's just gotten significantly better each year since he's been there. And man, I couldn't be happier for you. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great fit for you. I've actually personally never been to Bloomington. I haven't. Yeah, that's what I hear. I heard it's a great, great campus. So, I mean, not that I need an excuse to go to anywhere, but shoot.
But now you have one.
there, easy. That's easy money right there. I just go right up there. I got family up there in Indiana. I can't wait to go and see Hunter Sturgill scrapping there. The Hoosiers, man, this is awesome. You guys got to get me some tickets to a basketball game. I want to butt it up right up against a wrestling match. I want to go to a game. Not that I'm a huge basketball fan, but I got to get Indiana basketball. You got to go. You got to go to a game.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of cool. But well, man, I tell you what. So moving forward here, you got your college commitment. Is this being getting it out of the way? Is that something you wanted to do? You didn't want to drag this on. You were like, you know what? I want to find my match and I want to move on with what I got going on from a competitive standpoint.
Well, I mean, initially the plan was to take as much time as I could and maybe even commit in the spring.
Yeah.
But Indiana, like I said, their deal was too good to refuse. And I mean, I felt extremely happy to make this decision. So I jumped on it. I jumped on the opportunity and got it done earlier than I would have liked. But I mean, I'm perfectly happy with how it's going right now. So we get it done now, and then looking forward, we've got a pretty big duel against Macaulay next week. So hoping.
Oh, is that next week?
Yeah. So with the weather, they moved it to next Thursday. So it's going to be pretty exciting. We'll be at Macaulay this year, hoping to make it another W.
That's gonna be a pretty interesting match. I mean, tell you what, like I said, they've got some good young talent there. They're on a little roll. That beat Father Ryan last week, and so they're feeling good. I think they're feeling good about themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I tell you what, I might have to jump in the car and zip on down to Chattanooga and check that match out. Shoot.
We'd love for you to, Coach. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a good battle.
It's gonna be a good one. Well, good. Well, I was circling back just with everything, just looking back over. I mean, I guess your career up to this point. I mean, what do you attest like your successes to, and kind of what helped you put yourself in the position right now that you're in to obviously get recruited by Division I schools, and now you're going to one, you're fully committed to it, you're going for your third state championship this year, you're in a great situation right now, we're playing some of these national tournaments. What do you kind of attribute that to up to this point?
Well, first of all glory to God. I could not have done this without my Creator, and I was absolutely blessed to be in the position that I'm in with my family and my coaching staff and everything that's occurred to bring me to this point. And, a lot of it has been that. And then my work ethic. I feel like I'm one of the hardest workers in Tennessee. I'm surrounded by the hardest workers in Tennessee in my room, in the Baylor room. My coaching staff, some of the hardest working coaching staffs in Tennessee, if not in the nation. So, it's the level of commitment I have to this sport and my love for this sport and my dedication to this sport that has allowed me to, I guess, succeed to the point I have, not to toot my own horn. I don't, in that way.
No. No, but that's all important stuff, though. I mean, because those are all things that we need to be successful in wrestling. I mean,
sure.
shoot, if I had a nickel every time we had a argument in the University of Iowa room of who's the hardest worker, I mean, it was Terry Brands was arguing with Royce Alger, telling him how harder worker he was. And no, I'm harder worker. It's just like, that's the way it is. Everybody's always fighting for that title. I think the only one that wasn't working for that title was me. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
I want to be honest. So yeah, I'm probably not going to try to, I'm not trying to wear that crown. But no, that's not, there's no bragging about it. You mentioned your family. Actually, you brought that up. So actually, since Dixon didn't send me Indiana, where for second time on the podcast, I'm going to bring on the consolidated medical hat. That's what I'm going to do. I got to have something on these college commitment times. I got to be repping something. So, like I said, Dixon, you ain't holding up your end of the bargain. So I'm bringing up my boy Josh Sturgill's hat. That's what I'm going to do for round number 2. So it's been a long time since you've seen this guy, Kenya. Huh?
I know, it has been.
Anything from back in the day you remember?
Oh my goodness. You could probably remember more than I could, but I mean, just the culture that he's talking about that set Hunter apart as an athlete of just being able to work hard. I mean, I think that was instilled in both of us from the time we were young. Like Hunter and I met each other when we were very young, like both of us were kids, but even then, like we took the sport serious. It was still fun, but it was never an option in the room that we grew up in and the coaches that coached us to not work hard. Like if you didn't work hard, then you could leave the room, and that was the other option, the only other option we had. And so I think it's super cool to see that. I mean, obviously, Hunter, that's not left you. It's brought you to where you are, and it's every successful athlete we have on here, we ask them for advice, and everyone says it a different way, but they pretty much say the same thing: is you got to work hard and keep working hard.
Yeah.
And so to be able to hear and know that that's like what you attested a lot of your success to, it just makes so much sense. And it's cool to see it all full circle. It makes me feel a little bit old, but it is nice to watch.
You should have seen when you had your sister on here in the podcast. It was like, oh my God, what in the world?
Yes, because Riley was a very, very small child.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah. We got a lot of wrestling success coming out of that Sturgill household between Hunter and
absolutely.
Riley. Yeah. We're probably lucky that you two got a couple years in between and some little bit of size. There might be some, I don't know, there might be some broken tables and broken chairs and broken lamps and everything else in that place.
Oh,
They're a little bit closer. They're a little bit closer in age, a little closer to size. That probably wouldn't be good.
I feel like I'd appreciate that a little more though, because I'm a little bit too big to wrestle with her, and that kind of sucks. So
that's awesome. Good. So moving forward here to wrap it up, this season, what you guys got Macaulay coming up, and then obviously state and stuff like that. You're big on the national level. So what's the plan for not only this season, but then moving forward in the off season?
So for this season, like you said, we'll finish up at state, and then we'll have our national preps the weekend after. So that's a pretty big national level tournament for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take a small break and then jump right in and do our freestyle and Greco season. So that's Southeastern Regionals, Fargo, U20 qualifier, U20 Worlds if I qualify. So I got a lot on my plate that I need to get ready for, and I'm super excited to go out and do all that stuff. So
yeah, it's awesome. Hunter's at everything, man. He's at everything. You talk about it. I tell you what, Indiana got a kid that loves to wrestle. This dude is literally at everything, man. It's awesome seeing that too. So awesome. Well, good. Kenny, you got anything else for this guy right here?
No, super proud of you, Hunter. Obviously we always say we're proud of everyone when they come on here because they're representing our state and we're grateful, but it's super personal as I'm saying it to you. So super proud of you, and it's awesome to see you where you are. I'm excited to keep watching you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter, you got anything else for us, my man?
I don't. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you announcing to the world on our podcast.
Yeah, we're honored.
He did. That's awesome, man. I mean, he's like, he's one that did the unveiling here. So he turned the head around.
I know that was genius.
I love it. That's awesome. I should have done the same thing. I should have went like this. I should have went, since I don't have an Indiana. All right, my man Hunter. We appreciate you, buddy. Always great seeing you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, take care, buddy.
Bye, Hunter.
That's awesome. The Sturgill family, they're good people. Good people.
Oh, seems like it. I'm so happy I got a glimpse of your hunting story on here. You
know what? I ain't scared. Listen, I'm just gonna throw it all out there because I know if I'd have like talked the big game or whatever, it would have came out and say, wait a second. I heard you missed the first one. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
You know what? So I'm just better just throwing it out there. Listen, I did. It is what it is. But then I gotta give my side of the story. That's too easy of a shot. I don't like it. Those big ones, if they're big, slow.
Yeah, leave them for someone else who needs it for their ego.
Come on, big and slow, middle of the day. I'll give that to other people. I want the harder ones. Yeah, it's probably not the case. But anyway, good stuff though, huh? I tell you what, look at like 2 more Division I commits on the boys' side. Another girls commit. Dang, Tennessee is on fire.
Yeah, it's super fun. I think these are becoming my favorite podcasts is whenever we have people or athletes announcing their commitment or their signings. It's just awesome. It's super fun. And it's such a full circle moment. Like everyone spends not everyone, but a lot of people who wrestle spend their life for however much time, like just hoping they get somewhere someday. So to see people from our state actually getting there is super cool.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. I tell you what, we're just getting started because I'm telling you, we got that, our juniors, like I say this all the time, our junior senior class, a lot of really great kids. We got Landon DeSalle, Ohio State. We got Jarvis Little, App State. We got Cooper Hilton, Michigan. We got Jake Stacy, Little Rock. We got, who else did D1 commits? Now Hunter, Indiana. Ethan at Chattanooga. That's 6 right there. Division I out of this year.
Awesome. Just one class, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Am I missing somebody? Possibly. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. That's a good number right there. Let's keep it cranking, Tennessee.
Yeah, let's keep it cranking. Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep going. All right. Well, next week. Well, shoot. I didn't realize that the Big McCauley match is actually, you know what? We won't catch that one. That'll be the following week. So that's on Thursday. So yeah, but I'm sure we got some great things going on this weekend. And we'll be back to report it next week, won't we?
I know. Yeah, a lot of things I already know have gotten moved or rescheduled because of the weather, but I'm sure we'll still have some stuff to recap next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. We will. We'll have some great guests on, and we'll just we'll keep we eclipsed 40 live viewers this week.
Is that a record?
That's a huge record. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Normally we're at literally we're at anywhere from 15 to 18 every week. People viewing it this week.
3 awesome guests on here today. They probably all 3 of them brought 10 or 15 people.
Keep pulling them on. We just gotta keep pulling them on. That's awesome. Good stuff. All right, Kenya. Until next week.
Stay warm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It look like I might be staying warm because I might be at the airport tomorrow, flying out after practice. I'm going back to Caribbean. I got practice from 3 to 4:30. After that, I don't know.
It's okay. You'll hang out with us a little bit longer.
My name.
Stay with us peasants and be cold.
That's true. Probably. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining us on a record-setting night. 40 viewers. We're getting there. Look out, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're on your heels.
We're getting there. We're getting there on the heels. All right, Kenya. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right.